I started creating videos or learning video editing when I got into university. I had my own space, I had my own funds finally with the student loan. So I spent a little bit of it on a cheap video editing software, got a few clips off DVDs, a few tracks I already had on my laptop, and I just started playing around with it, seeing if I could get timings down and all that sort of stuff. I made MVs to practice. But then I started to make YouTube videos when a few years later I was watching gaming creators and I looked at it and I thought, I could do this. You know, I play games, I could learn how to comment, let's just give it a try, it looks like fun. So here's the thing, I was originally going to stop making videos just before I made my first Walton Files video. The thing is, I've been doing like the gaming stuff for 2 or 3 years, and even though I'd had like a little bit of growth, it was kind of starting to feel like I was just treading water, you know, I wasn't really going anywhere and nothing was really happening. Then I made this one Walton Files video and I put it up thinking, you know, I'm going to be lucky to get 50 views because at the time I was. Had about 90-ish when I went to bed that night, so I'd already done better than I expected. And then I got up in the morning and Martin had shared it and I had hundreds of views and the counter just kept climbing. I think I have about 65,000 views on that first video now, which is staggering, given what I used to get. And I really do appreciate it, honestly. I mean, the only reason I did my first Walton Files video, the big 2-parter, is because I had one little theory on Charlotte's fertility tour clip. I looked at it and I thought, is there something stopping her from talking? Let's go back through all the videos we have and see what evidence we can find. And began to notice a lot of very small details that I'd not seen anybody else talk about. So the script ended up 16 pages long and it ended up being 2 videos. That's basically how I got into doing it. It's just watching, noticing all these small details and then putting it up, and it was popular and people were like, hey, you're really good at doing this. So I decided to keep doing it, basically. I mean, the original 2-parter is always going to be special to me because it was the first time I'd done it, and heck, I was even discovering things as I was recording. You know, me discovering that Char was saying Sophie backwards while she was glitching out, that was a complete accident. I was just playing that video in reverse while doing something else, and then suddenly she's crying Sophie's name, and it's like, I need to put that in my script. So that was a heck of a trip making that video, because it was the first one I'd ever done, and I was just discovering all these little details. It was so good. But then, of course, doing the first Little Reds video was also quite good, because here you had Kane showing me this video, and I watched this, and I was like, this is really good. And then seeing that it didn't have that many views, and I was like, I'll talk about this video. I'll get people to come watch it, because it really does deserve it. And then the video went up, and I stepped away for half an hour to go and make myself my dinner. And then I came back and the video had gone from under 100 views to about 700 in about half an hour. And that's when I realised I actually had an audience and a little bit of influence. Hadn't quite realised it up until then. Maybe taking a break and then come back with some more gaming stuff? I don't know, I'd had other plans for similar talking about media videos, but I'd never really had the courage to try making them. I felt then that nobody really cared what I had to say. I was wrong about that, but I still don't really know if I'll ever make those videos. Maybe I will. For now, the VHS horror stuff is kind of working for me, and that's what you guys like. I might talk about some other media stuff, because I do have some other things I want to talk about with various media thoughts I've had over the years. I'd honestly love to try making a VHS horror series for myself. I mean, I've been analysing them, so I kind of know how they work, and I have a few ideas in my head. It's just, unfortunately, I like one very important skill you need for VHS horror videos. I have no visual art skills whatsoever. I can write stuff, I can video edit, although I don't know if I can do proper VHS horror glitch edits. But yeah, I can't do visual art, so I'd need to work with someone. But who knows, maybe in the future, maybe something will happen, maybe something's already happening, you don't know and I'm not going to tell you. I mean, both of them are kind of special to me. Battington sort of has given me a few shout-outs and he seems like a cool guy. And then, of course, the Walton Files. Martin is also awesome. And he's kind of the reason I'm here now. So I don't really want to choose between them. I love Char because let's be honest, Sheep Girl is awesome, and it's also her clip that kind of brought me here. I also love Banny, and I kind of really want to see a little bit more of her. I enjoyed her in Boozoo's Ghost, the role she had there, that was kind of cool. If I'm honest, I think if it had released, I'd never have found this. I don't really pay that much attention to the FNAF fan community. I kind of lurk on the outskirts of it because I'm a bit of an older fan. So while it sucks that Bond's Burgers was never released, the fact that the Walton Files came about instead meant I was able to find out about this. I like VHS horror stuff, I was getting into it at the time, and I just happened to find it. Oh, I know this one, Achievement Hunter and Play Pals. I watched the first Play Pals video on Five Nights at Freddy's, and thought, that's a bit of a strange name for a game. But I clicked it and I watched it, and after the video I was like, I need to find out more about this game. Who is that fox? Why is he leaning into the office? What the hell? Didn't know then, do know now. I think ever since I was a kid, I was always a bit too curious and nosy for my own good. I got shouted at so many times for uncovering things I shouldn't have and accidentally ruining surprises. So as I grew up, I kind of directed it into my storytelling. If a character does this, why do they do this? What led them here? It's all skills I managed to practice without knowing. It came about because of a Minecraft skin, actually. I was making my first skin for the game and I couldn't get the right shade of pink from Mouth, and eventually I just got really annoyed and slapped a metal faceplate over her nose and mouth and went, screw it, I'm a cyborg now. I later designed a new one and removed the faceplate, and I just kind of tweaked everything and solidified this slightly classy and weird cyborg as my unknown persona. And I've kind of used her in that current form now for about 7 or 8 years. It's just kind of how I choose to be on the internet. Well, one of the ways I choose to be on the internet, but that's a long story. 1. You seem to have. 2. Eye, ear, and then internal cybernetics in the leg, spine, and connections to the brain for the eye and ear. I just wanted her to have a more internal stuff. I don't actually know. Maybe the Eggman version from Sonic X? I've never really vibed with any of the classic cartoon Robotniks. Maybe because I didn't actually grow up watching them. I watched them a bit later. I don't think I have just the one favourite video game. I've got quite a few. Play a lot of Spyro, played a lot of Ape Escape when I was a kid. A lot of Prison Architect now. A lot of Minecraft. So yeah, I don't think I have a single one. Hi? I've not really played any of them except Pizzeria Simulator, but that's because Scott trolled everybody into thinking it was a free game, and then I couldn't really stop, could I? Gorillaz. Been vibing with their stuff since the first album. I mostly enjoy stuff for the songs though, rather than just the bands. Kaiser Chiefs had some good stuff in the 2000s. Their song I Predict a Riot is where the predicted part of my username comes from. Well, I always gamed as a kid, PS1, Nintendo 64 and Game Boy, but I was a girl, so I couldn't be a gamer because I didn't know all that lore stuff, so I thought. Then I started to play Minecraft as a university student to chill, and I had a Steam account before I stepped back one day and went, wait, I'm a gamer. Huh. And that's kind of how I became a gamer. Inside Out was good, and I just watched Soul, and wow, that story might not be the best, but it made me feel so good. Like, we need stuff that exists to just make us feel good and calm and okay. Life moves so fast and it's fine to just take the time to chill. And that's what Soul was about. A little while ago, I would have said I wasn't a horror fan, but that's clearly not true. I suppose I like glitch horror and robogore. FNAF let me discover some stuff I enjoyed that I was unaware of. King Kong, but only because I recall having this weird old King Kong board game as a child. Don't ask me what it was called, I only remember it having the giant ape on the Empire State Building drawn on the top lid. That's about it. Now you're making me hungry. Beef for sure, I've not had a good steak in over a year because of the COVID lockdown. My favourite Disney movie is Lilo and Stitch. It came out at a time when I was going from primary to secondary education and I was being ridiculed for being weird and different. So I resonated with the message that movie had of people always having a place to belong even if they didn't fit in perfectly. And as for your first question, well, I'd not even really be there to be honest. I'm sensible enough to not push my luck. I mean, I'm a detail hunter, so I'd not be that shocked if Bond was actually after me. I mean, we know what he did to Ashley. And that about does it for this Q&A. Sorry it's taking me so long. This is slightly different format to what I usually do, so it's taken me a while to try and figure out how to do it, and then also had to find a night where I felt like actually doing all this stuff. But I hope you've learned some things. I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more stuff coming when I find something else to talk about. Bunny Farm at some point. But yes, as always, let's go make people happy. And thank you and good day. Wow, I've not said that in a while.